Welcome along, everybody. We are here for bronze action, and we are ready to get going for Baku and round 15 then of bronze season 10. We are flying through. After this point, we're already 3/4 of the way through the season, to be fair, so we've gone quicker than I thought. So there we go then. I've been playing around, and I think if I do that, we can have a look at the standings there as well then, goodness me. So we've got Smithy Almighty leading the way then after round 14. Where was it? I can't remember where it was now. In Monza, of course. Goodness me. Long time ago now, a week ago that is, but Smithy Almighty leads the way then 256 points then for the Ferrari driver as we get ourselves ready to get cracking here as well then for Baku then. So Smithy leads the way then by 9 points then to Reflection then with 247 points then for the Aston Martin driver. Then Dynamo Dan, no it's not Dynamo Dan, sorry it's Hungry Stars, my screen's too small. 221 points then for the Racing Bull driver then to get himself into P3. Then Dynamo Dan is down to P4 and on 211 points there for the Williams driver in P4. Then Sirius Mushroom in P5 looking strong then as well then for the Alpine Machines. Rosa Sky P6 then for the Kicksauber. Then Mystery in the second Alpine then on the standings that is P7 there for the Alpine Machines, both looking good indeed. And Housey in P8 then after stepping in to the Aston Martin a few races ago. Then Winnie in P9 and San making up the top 10. And hopefully we can seamlessly transition over to the constructors as well now. Fantastic, goodness me. Aston Martin lead the way with 389 points then for Housey and Reflection, and looking very strong then, looking to try and extend that gap as well then after this race as well then. So yeah, we'll get started soon. And Ferrari then in P2 with 334 points then for the Scarlet Red Prancing Horse, of course. And Williams in P3 with Dynamo Dan then, and of course Groove Ninja then, who's only just joined the full-time grid in P3 then, 318 points there for the Williams team. Alpine in P4, Racing Bulls P5, Kicksab then in P6, then McLaren P7, Mercedes P8, then Red Bull in P9, and Haas in P10 for now, that is. But of course there might be some chopping and changing then in this race, as it is going to be a chaotic one, I believe, but we'll wait and see how it unfolds in front of our very eyes. Then we are loaded into the session, and here we are then in qualifying, a nice sunny qualifying as well then to start us underway then for this Baku Bonanza, as hopefully we can get the stream up and see what's going on there as well then. So good stuff indeed. Welcome along then to the qualifying, welcome along then to the show then tonight then, as we will get ourselves loaded in and see what's going on out here. Good luck everyone, says Styles as well then. Evening from Mushroom, and evening from Styles as well then. And good evening from Housey as well then. Good luck as well from Housey, of course. Housey has made a very sizable donation to the ALR funds then as well, with a purchase of I think it was about 3 hoodies, 3 snapbacks and a couple of beanies as well then, goodness me. There was all sorts there, but Housey then, fantastic stuff indeed, and thank you very much for the support as well for ALR. And of course, if you want to get yourself some winter wear, then of course some hoodies, some beanies, whatnot, head over to the ALR shop that is in the description as well then, because you can grab yourself some nice winter wear then for the winter that's coming up, of course. And the cold nights are coming then, and you need to get yourself wrapped up nice and warm there. Good stuff. Right then, we've got some action out on track then. Real Ashton Army and Marvsky are out and about then on their first outings of the Baku City Circuit, and let's see what they can do here tonight then as well. Then of course we've got 19 drivers. Unfortunately there's one driver we've missed out, maybe he's still asleep or something like that, but there we go. So we'll get 19 drivers in. That's one less DNF to have to count, that is, which is good, but we'll crack on then, as this is where it's going to be a bit treacherous, I think, this castle section here, and we'll see how the drivers are going to fare then, especially when they start racing. Then the opening laps are going to be a bit chaotic in that part of the section, well, part of the track I should say, goodness me, section of the track, goodness me. And okay, we're already mumbling the words, muttering the words, and we're already out of breath before we start the first qualifying laps as well around here. So goodness me, that's going to start off well. And there we go. Then we've got a debutant then of Firebird then, who is into the Red Bull then in place of DeCanco tonight then. We'll see how he is going to fare then on his ALR debut as well then. So we'll take it as it comes as we go through into Baku Sector 2 then, but we'll find out where is he? It's the other Red Bull, isn't it? It's where is he? It's Real Ashton then. Real Ashton is back in the pits. So I was about to try and find him to watch his qualifying lap, but unfortunately he's come back into the pit lane and called it a day. Then Marsky is on track though, heading through turn 1 then, and now sending some pace then as we go through. Then there's a racing bull then that's come out right in front of him there, and that is horrible news indeed then for Marsky then. And what is that then? That is Hungry Styles then, who has blocked the Mercedes driver who's on a flying lap there, and that could be costly indeed for Styles, that is then, if Marsky then has to get his rule book out there as well then, and maybe he might be visiting the stewards already then for that one as well then, goodness me. But that's treacherous stuff indeed. There's a McLaren who's already got off there as well then into turn 2, and that's a problem there indeed as well then, as Marsky then heading through sector 2. Real Ashton has retired from the session, unfortunately then. He is not going to be able to get himself a lap time on the board tonight then. Marsky then going through into the castle section, and let's see what the Mercedes driver can do, flinging it in there and hoping that it sticks, and it does do very well indeed then for Marsky. And now into the next part of the lap then. This is where it gets a bit more straight line speedy, doesn't it then, as we head through towards this horrible downhill left-hander then to turn 15, where we saw a few drivers struggle in real life there, didn't we? But Marsky is not struggling at all as we head in towards Sector 3 then. What's it going to be for Sector 2? It's a 16.6 then, the benchmark then for the Sector 2 times then, and Marsky's got a lot of battery to deploy then as we head through the kinks then of the final part of the lap then. On to the main straight we go now, and a lot of battery being depleted then for the Mercedes drivers. Going to have some DRS to play with as well then as we head on to this straight now, and DRS then will help pull himself along a few more kilometres of an hour then into the lap time we go then. To end the lap time, I should go, is to say, it's a 40.9 then, puts himself on P1 for the time being, of course, and looking strong indeed as well then for Mercedes there. Good stuff indeed. We've got Dark Shadow next across the line then. He's coming through the last couple of corners as well now, then heading to that checkered line as well, I should say, and that car then is looking a bit pointy indeed then for the Haas driver then. Can he get himself up to the line? Yes he can, and it's going to be a 1:43.5 then for the Dark Shadow then as well, and good stuff indeed. And oh dear, where's he going? He's had a bit of a problem there because he's gone straight on at turn 1, and he's crashed into the wall there as well. And there's a car coming through. My God, that is not that's not how to park, that is. Mr. Elite then has done a 40.3 then, puts himself P1 for the Alpine machine, and that is looking pretty good indeed then for the for Mr. Elite then in the Alpine as well then. We've got an Aston Martin of Reflection, a 40.1 then for Reflection, and of course he's looking to try and get himself back in the championship lead tonight as well here, if he can get himself a win and a margin then over Smithy Almighty then, who's yet to set a time on the board of course, but will be coming along then very soon. So there we go then, good stuff indeed then from Reflection. Then Firebirds then on his first outing then has done a 44.9, sorry, then puts himself P5 in the Red Bull there. Good stuff indeed. We've got a Williams coming through as well, and that could be, no, it's Dynamo Dan starting off a lap then for the Williams team then. Of course, he is looking to get himself back in the top running then for the podium places in the Drivers' Championship tonight. Then he's been displaced by Styles after Monza. There was one difficult race he had where the connection just didn't work then for Dynamo Dan then. I think that might be costly at the moment, that is. There's still 6 races to go, including this one then for bronze, so we'll wait and see then if Dynamo Dan can fight back. Potentially he's still in a championship fight as well. Then Rosa Sky's done a 40.1, then puts himself on pole position as well, then ahead of Reflection, as does Styles as well, then into P2 for the Racing Bull driver. Then goodness me, it's tight at the top there. Everyone in the 40.1s then as well. Then and we've got a few drivers then looking to improve on their current times as well. Then here comes Winnie towards that final part of the lap. Then here he comes across the line. Then Winnie, can he get himself on pole position? It's P4 with a 40.6, sorry, I should say. And his teammate Smithy then is going to go P5 then with a 40.5 as well. Then just ahead by a tenth of a second to his teammate then, so it's an all Ferrari row 3 as it stands, but of course there is still times to be tumbling in then in this qualifying session. Then Groove Ninja then, oh dear, that was I thought that was Groove Ninja, but it's not. It's somebody in the background there then who's I think he had a bit of a costly error then into the castle section potentially there. We've got a bit of a slow moving trio then going through into the final couple of corners, and that's Reflection there. There's a McLaren then of Rocket Lee, I think, starting off a lap then as well then for the McLaren team, then reserving tonight in place of San. Vintage is also out on circuit as well. Then goodness me, it's all action out here. There's only a few drivers in the pit lane. Dynamo Dan, let's see what he's going to do in the Williams car then. Up to the line, it's P7 then with a 40.7 on the dot, and he's right behind the Ferrari counterparts as well then for now. Well, goodness me. Who is Groove Ninja then? Groove Ninja then up to the line then. It's going to be P8 then. So both Ferraris and both Williams then lying astern. Then row 4 for Williams this time as it stands then on their first outings in qualifying with a 40.9 then for Groove Ninja as it stands then. So that's good stuff indeed. Into the pits comes the Firebird then, sorry, of the Red Bull of Firebird, I should say, in P11 then currently then the slowest of the time runners for now. But of course that could be chopping and changing then. Marvsky's jumped up to P5 with a 40.4, then he's found 0.5 of a second on that second lap there as well. Then good stuff indeed. The track might be rubbering in here and improving as well as we go through this qualifying session as well then. Fantastic. Highly recommend the merch, says Housey as well then. Thank you very much. Yes, well, I like it, to be fair, but I'm a bit biased as well. So, but yes, it is. The hoodies are very nice, and the ALR boxes are very good as well, to be fair. I do like them around the tushy, but there we go. Enough of that. Vintage goes P10 with a 42.6, and he's both of the Hasses, both the Williams and both of the Ferraris are doing a great job of staying in their pairs there as well then. Happy Thunderbirds Day then, says Ginger Age, goodness me. Happy plastic back, says the mushroom as well then. My bad back is from carrying the Rebel team this year then, as Rocket Lee's gone fastest for the 39.8, sorry, I missed it completely, but he's on pole position then, is the McLaren driver then. Great stuff indeed then. Of course the first driver into the 39s as well so far in this qualifying session, and currently on pole position then for the Papaya team then as well. Looking good indeed then. Housey's also looking good indeed potentially. We'll have to wait and see, but he's looking good so far. He's going to be looking great indeed in the ALR hoodies and the ALR merch that he's purchased as well, once they arrive that is, but they're on the way and they've been shipped, so good stuff indeed. So Housey then into sector 3 and looking to finish off the first flying lap of the session for the Aston Martin driver then. Let's see what it's going to be then for Housey then as we fly through those kinks, and once again then heading to the line then for the Aston Martin driver. That pink helmet standing out then in the green car, that is heading down towards the line then for Housey. Then what's it going to be then on the timing sheets as we cross the line? Then it's going to be a 42.3, which puts himself P11 and ahead of both the Hasses as it stands as well then. Good stuff indeed. Flying stuff indeed then. Mushroom's also flying out there then. Chlorine Pilot is out on the track as well then for the McLaren team. We'll see what he can do as well then. Mr. Elite then is currently P5 then. He is looking to go again then, I think, or is he? But he's got a lot of battery to play with as well there, to be fair. So we'll wait and see then. But Mr. Elite then currently P5 with a 40.3 then is going again, it looks like there, so he will come back to him. How is he on his way back to the pit lane after that 42.3 then? Into the pits comes Dark Shadow as well then, currently P13. Slayer then yet to set time, same for Hakuza as well then, and Sirius Mushroom is on the track then and heading in towards sector 3 in just a jiffy. Firstly he has to negotiate that horrible turn 15 once again, and he does so very nicely indeed, of course. So there we go, good stuff. Heading now into Sector 3. Sector 3 is pretty much just put your foot to the floor then and hope you've got enough straight line speed and enough battery and enough DRS to play with as we go through then into those kinks once again then for Mushroom then. And to finish off the lap we go then flying along then, battery on the power then. Or is he? He's not using much of the battery then, to be fair. He's not using any of the battery then, to be fair. I think he's forgotten. So there we go. As yes, he's got it, and now he's heading to the line. Then Mushroom then goes P11 with a 41.5, and I think he's got quite a lot of battery left to spare as well there. So potentially there's more in the tank then for Mushroom. Chlorine Pilot then does a 41.2, then puts himself P11, displacing Mushroom down one spot, and into P11 then goes the McLaren driver as well. Wow, goodness me. Right then. Right then, here comes Reflection once again then, looking to get that top spot back then for the Aston Martin team then. Can he get that pot stop? Oh goodness me, it's too early on a Tuesday for me now. Here comes Reflection anyway, that he's coming into the pit lane then, so he's abandoning that lap time as well then. He's got 6 minutes left of the qualifying session to go then. Styles also out on track then, heading through into sector 2 then, soon to be sector 3. Rosa Sky then coming through a bit further back on the track, that is, then heading into sector 2 now as well. Then he's gone purple though in sector 1, which is promising stuff indeed then for the Kick Sauber driver as well then. Chlorine Pilot then on his way back to the pit, same for Mushroom as well then, I think. And that's everyone now on track then who's on a flying lap at least. Dynamo Dan just starting off a flying lap then heading into turn 2. That has almost racing him out of the pit lane there. We'll come back to that then because we've got Styles then heading to the line then for the Racing Bull driver. Then can he find that extra tenth or two to get himself on the front row? Can he find even more than that then to get himself on pole position here in Baku? Then let's see what the Racing Bull driver can do. It's going to be a 40.0. He puts himself P2 and he finds a tenth of a second to his tally there as well then on his second attempt here in qualifying. Then Rosa Sky has invalidated his time somewhere there, so unfortunately this lap is not going to count then for the Kick Sauber driver. Then he was up in sector 1. We don't know what happened in sector 2, but it didn't look too good there because that track map has gone red, which means he has crossed the track limits there as well at some point in the lap then, so hopefully he can get himself back in the pits. He's still got time to go again then in this qualifying session, so it's not all done and dusted just yet, so we'll wait and see. Winnie back out on circuit, then Dynamo Dan further along, then heading into sector 2, or into the depths of sector 2 I should say, because he's now heading up towards sector 3 as we head into that horrible left-hander once again. Then down the hill we go now towards sector 3. Then what's it going to be for Dynamo Dan in sector 2? And he has found 4/10 of a second then, and that would put him into the range then of the Mr. Elite, potentially there. I think maybe P5, maybe if he can find some more time then he can get himself further up the order as well as we head into sector 3 now. Then the battery then is being depleted as we go through then into the main straight now. DRS available here as we head to the line then for Dynamo Dan. Then what's it going to be then for the Williams driver? Then up to the line it's going to be a 40.4. He finds 2.5 tenths. He puts himself P6 on the third row of the grid. And breathe. Good stuff indeed. Right, I think we've got a Haas then starting a lap. That's Dark Shadow then starting off a lap then in that Haasmobile and heading through in towards turn 2. Yellow flags out there. I think that's for a Williams car going a bit slowly then on his out lap. That is Groove Ninja. We'll come back to that one as well then as Chlorine Pilot is into pits. Then Rocket Lee starting off a second attempt then for the McLaren team heading into the first couple of corners. Then Racing Bull then of Styles into the pits as well. Then here comes Winnie, and Winnie jumps up to P4 with a 40.1 there as well. Then goodness me, Winnie on a charge then in the Ferrari then, and he has gained quite a few places there. I think he's gained at least 4 places then with that time as well. Then goodness me, pretty good stuff indeed. Then has he got time to go again? Then it'll be very tight indeed then if he can get himself back in then and back out on another outlap then to finish that off before the checkered flag falls. Firebirds is in the pits, so he's called it a day. He's invalidated his time then, similar to Rosa Sky then, so hopefully he can get himself back underway. Saku then is back in the pits as well then, unfortunately calling it a day. Then Jake the Slayer is on track then heading through sector 2. And we've got a Mercedes. No, it's Haku coming back in the pit lane. Never mind, ignore me then. Groove Ninja about to start off his last and final lap then of this qualifying session. He's not going to have time to go again then in this qualifying session unless he can harvest enough battery and energy and fuel and go again then on a second run then. But it's a long old lap around this circuit, and I think it's almost the longest. I think it's the second longest lap, I should say. Goodness me, after Belgium, isn't it there? So in terms of time, that is. And yes, so that's probably what's going on there. It's a long lap. So there we go. There's your information. There's your insight into this Grand Prix. That's all you need, really, isn't it? Winnie then coming back to the pit lane. I'm not sure he's going to have time to go again in this qualifying session, so we'll have to come back to him then. Rocket Lee is, oh dear, he's having a bit of an issue somewhere there, so he is coming back to the pits as well then. So he is done and dusted in qualifying, but currently still on pole position here for the time being, and looking good indeed for another pole position as well then. Winnie then I think is out of fuel, or he's harvesting a lot of, I think he's out of fuel then, isn't he? Because he's coming back to the pit lane then, but I'm not sure he's going to have time to go again then in this qualifying session there. So unfortunately I think that's Winnie P4 at best then for the Ferrari driver then. Right, who's next? It's not Reflection, it's his teammate then of Housey. Then Housey is coming down to that start-finish line as well. Then he's found 7/10 of a second though in the first 2 sectors. Can he keep it all together then? Can he keep that time then? And let's see what it's going to be then up to the line. It's going to be P12 with a, wow, it's 9/10 improvement then, a 41.4 for Housey. Then puts himself P12 ahead of Mushroom, ahead of Slayer for the time being as well. Then Rocket Lee has retired, sorry I should say, then in the pit lane. and that is him done and dusted in qualifying, but currently still on pole position. Currently the only driver still in the 39s as well tonight there. Good stuff indeed. Groove Ninja has improved to P6 then, onto the third row of the grid with a 40.2 then for Groove Ninja. Then good stuff indeed as well for the Williams driver. Then we've got a Haas coming up to the line. Then it's going to be Dark Shadow. No, it's not Dark Shadow, it's Vintage starting a lap there. Dark Shadow has lost a bit of an end plate. Then Reflection's gone fastest. I missed it completely, but Reflection's on pole position then for the Baku or Azerbaijan Grand Prix with a 39.811. That's 300ths of a second then ahead of Rocket Lee's time. Then that is very close indeed between Rocket Lee and Reflection. Both the R's are former teammates as well in the Aston Martin. So there. Great stuff then. Hungry Stars on a lap as well. Then that's Williams. Smithy Almighty's gone fastest with a 39.6. My goodness me. Smithy Almighty looking to try and hold on to this championship lead then. It is looking strong then as well as it stands. Goodness me. I think he might have got a bit of a toe there from that Alpine who's just starting a lap, I think there. So very well timed indeed then on that final run then for Smithy Almighty there. Goodness me. But so far so good then. We've got a Red Bull coming down the tracks. Then that is Firebird. Then he's going to go start off another lap. Then he's only got 10 seconds to go. Then there's a few drivers out there that's going to have a bit of a struggle to get to the line, I think, here. Which Haku then has just about started a lap in time. Chlorine Pilot is going to struggle then as well. Same for Marvsky, and Marvsky is in Sector 2. My goodness me. And Dynamo Dan, same issue as well then for the Williams driver. Not sure what is going on there, but they have misjudged that completely. Then as Rosa Sky's gone fastest, then the times are tumbling in as well. We go through here. Then 39.5 then for Rosa Sky on pole position then for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at the moment though. But I have to keep saying that because here comes Styles as well, the next challenger as well. Then heading through the final couple of corners. There's a wall there. Don't turn into that then as we head towards the main straight. Then there we go. Then DRS now available for the Racing Bull. Can he beat the 39.5? And that's the benchmark for the time. It's going to be close indeed, and he crosses the line. It's 39.6. He puts himself on the front row of the grid. My goodness me, what a qualifying this has been. And, well, I think I'm definitely going to be out of breath for the start of the race. And if that will be it then for me tonight, then I'll have to just sit in solitary silence for the Grand Prix itself, no matter what's happening out there. As we go through, then Mr. Elite then is looking to finish off a lap then and get himself... Oh, dear. No, he's not. He's had a bit of a problem there. Right, okay. Groove Ninja then P7. Serious Mushroom is on track then as well, but he's not used much of the battery there as well then for Mushroom, so he's coming back to the pit lane. So I'm not sure what happened there for Mushroom as well, goodness me. Right then, Firebird then is on the circuit. Then Firebird I think has lost a bit of wing there somewhere because he's that right end plate is not looking too strong there at the moment. Reflection then, P4 has retired from the session and he's in the pit lane. Here comes Firebird to try and improve on that 44.9, then up to the line. It's going to be close then. It's a 44.7. Then he does improve his time then by 2.5 tenths of a second there. Good stuff indeed. And Haku then is going to stay P18 after unfortunately not getting a time on the board there, although he did cross the line. So there we go. Right, well that's qualifying done and dusted. Then we've got 26 laps of action to unfold here. But Rosa Sky then, there he is then, our pole sitter for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Then he is going to be very happy with that indeed, as we get ourselves into the race itself, I should say. And very, very strong performance then from the Kicksauer. Then we've got Hungry Styles, I believe that, yes, he is there, P2 then as well. Then for Hungry Styles, then Smithy Almighty in P3, Reflection in P4, Rocket Lee P5, Winnie in P6, Groove Ninja P7, Mr. Elite P8, Dynamo Dan P9, Marsky in P10, Mushroom P11, Chlorine Pilot, P12, then Jake the Slayer P13, Housie P14, Vintage P15, Dark Shadow P16, Firebirds in P17, Haku in P18, and Real Ashton unfortunately didn't get time on the board then in this qualifying session. Oh wow. Right then, we'll have a quick break and we're back for the start of the Grand Prix. Right, then we are back. Then we are about to get the race underway. Then we have got Ginger Age said should put. Oh no, Mushroom said puts race winner then for silver. That would be unfair on the other 9 teams. Mr. Mushroom says Ginger Age, and he also says is that Rosa Sky's first pole position since Australia? Then I wouldn't know. It's you're the stat man, so you can't tell me. Right, let's get ourselves sorted and underway. Medium compound tyres then for 6 drivers out there. Everybody else then of the grid then has gone for the hard compound tyres then to run through that then in the formation lap as well. Then good luck from Jake the Slayer as well. Then Styles for podium, says Kamara Racer as well. Goodness me. We've got some predictions coming in as well then. Goodness me, get your predictions in throughout the Grand Prix then as we go through. Then I think this might be a bit of a difficult one to predict, that is, as it usually is around this circuit with the nature of the track as well then. But we will crack on then and get ourselves underway then as we go through this formation lap as well then. So the top 2 then, Styles and Rosa Sky, then opting for the medium compound tyre to start this Grand Prix. I'm in bed, says Ginger Asian. Got to get my rest before the race tomorrow. So, well, yeah, got to make sure you get your rest. I believe speaking of rest, I think the Liverpool hotel was not attacked by Galatasaray fans, but they set loads of fireworks off at about 2 a.m. in the morning and to try and wake up the Liverpool players and disrupt their sleep for the Champions League match, whatever that is. Yes, hopefully no distractions then for Ginger Age because he needs to get his beauty sleep then. But nonetheless, we'll crack on with this Grand Prix because we've got something else to deal with first, and that of course 100% League is on tomorrow night then from 7:30 p.m. and that's going to be a doozy of a race then in Mexico City. But first we've got a Baku City circuit then circuit race I should say then to go through then, which of course is hosted by Bronze then, and looking forward to seeing how it's going to unfold here tonight then, as Rocket Lee and Winnie have been disqualified from the formation lap as well. Brilliant. Those dirty buggers. Alright then. I'm not sure if he's referring to me or something else there, but yes. Hopefully no distractions then, as Ginger Race doesn't want any fireworks going on outside of his house then as he tries to get his beauty sleep for tomorrow's race. But first we've got a 26 lap race here in Bronze then. Baku then is going to host a fantastic Grand Prix, I'm sure then. It could be chaos, it could just be perfection, we'll wait and see. It could be something in the middle as well, to be fair. But we'll find out then in just a jiffy, as I will switch now to the position changes to see how everyone does on the start of this Grand Prix. And what is that parking from Smithy there? But I'm not quite sure. But I think he's got himself sorted just about then. And hopefully we get a better camera angle for the start of this Grand Prix as well. But stay with us, we'll get ourselves sorted in just a jiffy. Once all the drivers are lined up on the grid, then we can get ourselves underway then for this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Go then, the 5 red lights are coming on. The 5 red lights are on then in Baku then. The 5 red lights are out, and away we go then for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's a good start then from Rosa Sky, then Styles covering off the attackers behind as we head into turn 1. Then Smithy trying to go around the outside. Mushroom's got a 3-second penalty somehow already then. Goodness me, I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'm sure that can be reviewed and revoked if needs be. There's all sorts of contact in the background then. Goodness me, what was going on there? Rosa Sky leads the way then. Hungry Styles P2. They've got yellow flags in the background. That's Housy's had an issue, I think, there. But they've all got themselves underway unscathed. Both Ferraris making contact into turn 3 then, and Winnie's holding the position then. He's P3, and Rocket Lee trying to get himself past Reflection here. Then it's all sort of chaos as we go through then into turn 4, and wow, goodness me, then Mr. Elite then is getting himself a bit of a challenge as well then with the Alpine machine, then trying to stick his nose in there into sector 2 we go now, and this is where it's going to get tightened difficult as well, I should say, because you don't want to be going side by side through here then too much as we go through then into the technical part of the circuit, then into this castle section. Then will anybody get caught out? Then Rocket Lee's lost out to Mr. Elite then as we go through into that castle section now, and I'm not sure what was going on in the background. I think it was a connection issue there. Oh dear, there's contact then. I think someone's had a clout with the wall into the castle section. Was it Mushroom? I think it might have been Mushroom. That end plate is missing then for the Alpine, and he's weaving all over the place then, and goodness me, then that's going to put all sorts of chaos then for Haku and Jake the Slayer right behind him as well, heading into turn 15. Oh, Mushroom's in the wall. Then there's more contact with a Red Bull there as well. Goodness me. And Well, Real Ashton's all right, I think. I think he is all right. No, he's not. Yes, he is. Then he is all right. Wow, it is chaos, isn't it, as well, as we go through then, as we got how is he trying to challenge Dark Shadow then as well. Into the kinks we go. And Mushroom then, I think, is struggling with that weird front wing damage, I should say then. But Haku then is trying to get himself past. We got, it was not Vintage, it was not Housie, sorry. It was Haku then trying to get himself past Dark Shadow there. Mushroom is going to have to go into the pit then, I think, then to get himself sorted. And that front wing change as we go into lap 2, then Dark Shadow down the inside, then on the Mercedes of Haku. Then has he got the place done? Yes, he has. DRS now available as well. Then it's a chaotic opening lap, let's just say the least. But that is what we come to expect from Baku now, isn't it? But nonetheless, I'm pretty sure we'll see some more action. Then Rosa Sky then is trying to get himself that 1 second gap. Then we're sticking with this battle here. We'll wait and see what happens into turn 3. Then we'll call it a day there as we head through then into turn 3 now. Lap 2. Groove Ninja then has lost a place to Mr. Elite. Then as we go through, then Mr. Elite and Groove Ninja are side by side through here. That's close. And Groove Ninja then leaving the space then as well. I think he's got the place as well then on the Alpine. Then he has done, and up into P7, back where he started then for the Williams driver. And now chasing after Rocket then. They've all lost the place then from Smithy and Mighty Reflection and Rocket League to Winnie then, who's had a storming first lap then and got himself into the podium places here as we go through then into Sector 3 in just a few corners time. Rocket League then, sorry, not Rocket League, Rosa Sky then leading the way still, looking comfortable out there. Then he's got a 1 second gap then. If he can hold that 1 second gap then into the next couple of corners, then he will not have any challenges then with their DRS open then on this main straight, which will be great news indeed for Rosa Sky that if he can hold on to that gap, that is, as we go through then into the kinks then to finish off lap 2 of 26. And I think Winnie then is going to be the closest to mount a charge then for that P2 position. Then Hungry Stars might be under a bit of pressure then heading in towards turn 1. We'll come back to that one. We'll stay on board with that one, as I should say, because here comes Winnie then. Rosa Sky set the fast lap of the Grand Prix, and Winnie stays behind. Mr. Elite is back past Groove Ninja then, of course, with the aid of some DRS then in towards turn 1. There's Williams drivers swapping places in the background. That's Dynamo Dan passing his teammate then of Groove Ninja then, and now we've got Marsky waiting in the wings as well then in P10. Wow, goodness me, Haku is in the pit lane. So Haku's got some sort of damage there as well then for the Mercedes driver. Then unfortunately then Serious Mushroom as well has got that front wing fixed. Then same for Jake the Slayer as we go through then. But of course they are now hoping for a safety car, which is probably not too distant as well, to be fair, because it is Baku then. Unfortunately for those who are not a fan of Baku, then safety cars breed safety cars and all of that sort of stuff. And Winnie then is closing in then on Hungry Stars, then Rocket League, then sticking with Reflection as well then in the McLaren, then looking to get himself back in contention. Then Reflection's having a bit of a problem there, because he's lost a bit of a gap then as well to Smithy Almighty, who's now trying to catch up to the top 3 here. Then heading through into the castle section, you can see his teammate flying up through that hill. Dynamo Dan then has got himself into a battle, and then with the Alpine of Mr. Elite then heading through the castle section as well. Then very nicely done indeed for both Williams drivers and Marsky. Glorious Pilot then holding on then to P11 then for that as well. Then he's got himself up one place from P12. But is now trying to chase down the top 10 as well here. Then Dark Shadow is holding off Hello Housie then as well. Then Vintage also waiting in the wings, and Real Ashton coming through as well. Then Firebirds is having a bit of an issue then in the castle section. Sorry we caught that. We didn't want to catch that. We missed it completely. But he's lost both M plates there for the Red Bull. Then unfortunately that's going to have to be a pit stop, I'm sure, to get that wing replaced. Then Mushroom also looking for try and lose a wing as well once again, I should say. Goodness me. But well done indeed then to negotiate that corner without any issues. I didn't do that in gold, but there we go. Vintage and has been passed. Sorry, Styles has. Dark Shadow, has been passed by Housie. And oh dear, Dark Shadow clouting the wall. Then Marsky's got himself past the Williams of Groove Ninja now into P9 for the Mercedes. And trying to chase down his rival. Then, of course, Dynamo down as well. Then, and Mr. Elite. Then Mr. Elite, a bit of a cork in the bottle for now, but he's catching up to Rocket League. And we go through. Then Vintage has passed his teammate into turn 1 as well. Or has he? Oh, there's contact there between Vintage and Dark Shadow. And that could open the door for Real Ashton to sneak through as well. Then he has snuck through then into P14, and now in a bit of a Haas sandwich for the time being as well then. But yeah, so unfortunately there we've got Firebird then, who's carrying on then with his damage there. Unfortunately that's well, it's going to be costing him more and more time then, unfortunately. Mushroom and Slayer are catching up then in this fight as well then, so they're getting themselves reeled back in pretty quickly indeed here then into lap 4 now of 26. Then Styles then is out of that DRS window. Then Winnie has also got himself in contention to try and fight for that P2. Then Smithy Almighty just dropping off slightly through then. Maybe he's got a bit of time, then he's gained them into that castle section. Maybe there's a bit less downforce then on that car, but of course he'll be losing out in terms of straight line speed. Real Ashton Preston winning 2-0, says Warwick then as well then. Dynamo Dan has passed Rocket Lee, or has he? Oh, he's clouted the wall there as well, my goodness me. But he has got himself up into P7, I should say. Mr. Lee up into P6 as well then. So, as we said, then we've got, like I said, a lot of action out on track to unfold, and we're going through then into lap 5 very soon. Then there's still 20 laps or so to go, and Winnie is closing in then with the aid of some. He's not even got DRS, to be fair. Winnie is closing in nonetheless then as we go through then onto the main straight, finishing off lap 4. Then he's going to try and make a move then on Styles then for that P2 position, and he's got the move done then into turn 1. Then Ferrari up into P2. Then can he try and chase down our race leader, then our pole sitter then of Rosa Sky? Into the pits comes Rocket Lee. Then Rocket Lee has called it a day then on his medium compound tyres as well. Then maybe a bit earlier then on this stint then, but potentially we might see a 2-stop then in this Grand Prix. The Williams of Groove Ninja holding on to the place then ahead of Chlorine Pilot. Then Marsky is holding on to P8. Then he's in a bit of a queue then performing behind Mr. Lee in the Alpine, who's now P6. Then he's gained 2 places, but he's now got Dynamo Dan, he's got Marsky, he's got Groove Ninja, he's got Chlorine Pilot then in the queue behind. Then Firebird has retired, and that's a safety car in this Grand Prix. That's a very early safety car as well then. So will we see some people diving into the pit lane here then, or will they all just stay out then and try and carry on to the end of this Grand Prix? I'm not sure where he crashed, to be honest, but he is out of the Grand Prix nonetheless then. So safety car then has been deployed, and we'll wait and see then if that is going to be a strategic play then, or if everyone's going to stay out then and just soldier on then with these tyres to their normal pit window there. Safety car out in lap 5. It'll probably be in about lap 6, end of lap 7. I'm not sure. I can't do the maths too quickly there, but it's not too far away then for the grid to be bunched up. Then Serious Mushroom and Jake the Slayer will be happy about that as well. And the same for Haku as well. Then having to make unscheduled stops earlier on in this Grand Prix. Winnie should have won the race in season 8-ish, says Ginger Age. So Winnie then is up into contention. Then he's gained 4 places in the opening 4 laps or so. Of course, the 5th lap has been nullified with a safety car here as well. And so that is why we have got that yellow full course caution out there. And now we wait and see. What's the strategy then going to be then? We've got medium compound tyres then, as we've got medium compound tyres for the top 3 here. Will they decide it's time to call it a day already then on the medium tyres? Same for Chlorine Pilot as well then. Of course, Jake the Slayer has pitted onto a fresh set of medium compound tyres. Same for Haku as well then in that earlier lap then. And into the pit lane we go then for Rosa Sky, then our race leader. Then Winnie also in the pit lane as well. Then Smithy Almighty inherits the lead of the Grand Prix. Then he has stayed out. Same for Reflection as well. Then these 2 championship contenders as well then. So maybe they are playing a different game then as well then in terms of the strategy as well here. Hard compound tyres then have only done 5 laps, so they might be a-okay for another few laps or so after the safety car. But what we're going to see then for Rosa Sky then is well, where is he? There he is. Right, and I thought he was getting wheeled back in the garage then. But he's out in P7 then for Rosa Sky. Winnie P8, Hungry Stars P9. So they had a bit of a gap there, didn't they, to slot themselves back in. So it's not all done and dusted just yet. Then it's not all over until the fat lady doth sing, then, of course. He's got a good form around here then, says Ginger Asian. So Winnie then is a candidate then for potential race win, of course. Serious Mushroom then is going to be inheriting that P15 position. Oh, where is he? There he is. And Vintage, of course, has pitted now for medium compound tyres. Then Haku then has passed Jake the Slayer. Then he's back in the pit lane again. And he's going for another set of hard compound tyres as well. Then he's done 1 lap on those hard compound tyres, which I think is the tyre he started the Grand Prix on. So they're not going to be too shabby indeed. They might even be even better because he's scrubbed that top layer off, hasn't he, then? As we love to see that in Formula 1 Grand Prix racing. Scrubbing the top layer then, of course, and making sure that you've got the best performance of the tyre then ready to go then at a moment's notice then. And we'll have a moment's notice then, I think, at the end of lap 7 then, when we get ourselves back underway then in this Grand Prix then. So 1 safety car very early on then. Jake the Slayer has left the session, so hopefully he can get himself back in the session, and we can crack on then, or he can crack on as well then for the race restart then in a few minutes, or a few moments I should say. But we're waiting for that all go then for Bert Mylander to get himself back in the pit lane and get himself out of the way of our racers. But there we go then. So unfortunately, we're not sure what happens there then. Hopefully he can get himself back in quickly enough. So we'll wait and see. But that is the situation as it stands for now. Right, safety car then has been deployed then. Unfortunately, Firebird then on his debut then has caused the safety car then with a crash. I'm not sure exactly where, but he had a crash, and he didn't have any end plates on his front wing as well, which probably didn't help that situation as well. But unfortunately, out of the Grand Prix then, I'll get Slayer a quick invitation if he's not woken up just yet. If you're not, if Slayer can hear me, you're not in the session there. So where are you? I can't find you. Brilliant. There we go. There he is. Right, let's send him an invitation there. Good stuff. Right, sorry about that. We'll get ourselves back underway then in just a jiffy. We're waiting now for the race to be resumed, and we're hoping that it will be resumed then at the end of this lap as well. Then, so we'll come back into the racing action then in just a lap's time. Then lap 8, and I think will be the restart then of this Grand Prix, and we'll head through then into the next third of the race. Of course, and it's a very quick race indeed, but of course it's a long lap around here. It's a quick race in terms of the number of laps that is, but of course, like I said, it is a long lap. So a 1 minute 40 then on average, or so, as we saw in qualifying as well. Then, so as Jake the Slayer has joined back, which is good stuff indeed. And we can hopefully get ourselves restarted then and underway in just a jiffy then, as we go through into the lovely castle section once again. A very scenic place to look, but maybe not a scenic place to drive. You probably don't want to stop and have a look around, especially in this part of the circuit then, when you're trying to go at full speed, that is. But yeah, hopefully Slayer is now back in the car then. He's not, so that's good. He joined the session though, but he just needs to take control. Hopefully we can get ourselves restarted then at the beginning of this, or at the end of this lap, I should say. Then we're heading into Sector 3 in just a jiffy. And fingers crossed Slayer will get himself back in the car. But he's still not having not getting himself back in the car. Well, I mean, we tried. What can we do? Right then, safety car is not in this lap. Yes, it is in this lap then. So safety car is coming in now at the end of this lap. Then it's calling it a day. Then after controlling the track, then controlling the grid, then everybody is a-okay. Everything's been cleared away. Then everything's been swept up, and we can crack on then for the restart of this Grand Prix soon. Smithy Almighty will lead us away then, ahead of Reflection, Mr. Elite, then Dynamo Dan, Marsky and Groove Ninja. They're all yet to pit, then the top 6 yet to pit. Then of course Rosa Sky then has put on fresh hard compound tyres then under this safety car period. Then when will Smithy drop the hammer and go? Nope. Mr. Elite's got a oh god. Right then, Mr. Elite's got a 10-second penalty for a collision with Reflection there as well then, and that's not good. The Smithy Almighty then is taking his time then to start this race, and now he's gone finally. I'm never a fan of a slow restart, but there we go. Right then, heading in towards turn 1 then, everyone's brakes are going to be cold then as we go through, and thankfully I think we've got ourselves all through then. Unscathed Marsky up into P5 has passed the Williams of Groove Ninja, or has he? Yes, he has. And Rosa Sky then is waiting in the wings. There's a problem there for somebody. Who is that? I'm not sure. It's a CrowdStrike sponsorship. That's a Mercedes, I think. Then that is Marsky. Oh my god, Rosa Sky has dived down the inside there. What's happened to Marsky then? He's lost out 2 places as well then with that, and I think Rosa Sky is going to be in the bad books then of the Mercedes then as well. As we head through then, we've got Groove Ninja now. Styles then of course going to try and get through as well then. My goodness me, I can't get any words out tonight. Then Rocket Lee has passed Real Ashton for P13. Of course, Rocket Lee is also on slightly fresher tyres. Then Housy's lost out to Chlorine Pilot. Then Housy's had an issue. Then he's off the circuit slightly, then off the line, I should say. And he's held on to P13. Then, oh dear, Real Ashton and Serious Mushroom then are having a bit of a serious struggle there as we go through. And now we've got Haku then trying to get himself past the Red Bull as well. Then, goodness me. Oh, that's close indeed. Then I'm not sure if Slayer's got himself back in the car then. I think he has, which is good timing indeed. Haku has passed Real Ashton then for P15 on his medium compound tyres. Of course, medium compound tyres will be good right now, I believe, but they will start to fade quicker than the rest around then as well. Then as we head through then into the next part of the lap, both Alpines have got 3-second penalties to their name then. No, sorry, Mr. Reed's got a 10-second penalty to his name then with that collision then with Reflection then. Might be able to be removed after the Grand Prix. We'll have to wait and see. Then Rosa Sky then has got himself up into P5. Winnie's up into P6 as well here. Then they're chasing down Dynamo Dan. Then, of course, these two have pitted. Dynamo Dan has not pitted then in this Grand Prix. Then what's going to happen here in turn 1? It's going to get close. It's going to get very close indeed then as we go through turn 1. Then not quite then for either driver. Then Rocket Lee has passed Dark Shadow, or has he? And wow. Yes, he has. No, he hasn't. Glorian Pilot then is ahead there as we go into turn 2, and late on the brakes then is Rocket Lee. Then he's locked up there, but he's got the move done, or has he? Once again, they're still side by side. Rocket Lee with the traction, then has got himself up into P11 and ahead of the Haas driver for now as well. Then yellow flag again. Yellow flag again. It's Rosa Sky then and Winnie. And Winnie, both of them have come together then into turn 3. Then my goodness me, what's happened there then? And have they got damage as well? Then there is damage then for the Ferrari. Then I don't think there's damage then for Rosa Sky. But we'll come back to that one, because that's going to be very painful indeed. Then Winnie then has lost the end plate. Then that right end plate is definitely missing there as well. Then did he go for a lunge then into turn 3? And Rosa Sky was all over the back then of the... Oh my God, then Rosa Sky. That's a very ambitious move indeed. And Glorian Pilot then is just, I think he just doesn't want to be here, does he? Does Glorian Pilot? Then he just wants to, he wants those two behind to get out of the way. Then or go further back or go further forward. And Glorian Pilot then trying to make a move then on Groove Ninja round the inside. Then it's close indeed. And Rosa Sky is just weaving all over the place there as well. They're not sure what's going on there. But I'm not sure that's going to be very helpful either for himself or for Winnie. But nonetheless, then there is some sort of shenanigans going on there as well for the Keychains and Ferrari. Well, it wouldn't be Baku without a few iffy incidents, let's just say that. But so far, so good. Then out in front, then Reflection, then trying to get himself back into the race lead, then, or into the race lead, I should say. Then Mr. Elite holding on as well. Then Marsky, then P4. Then, of course, all the shenanigans behind then has created a bit of a gap then for the top 3. As we've got pit stop action then. Winnie's into the pit lane then to call it a day then on those hard compound tyres already. Then can he get the medium compound to the end of the race, and can he get that wing changed as well? Then they are servicing the front wing as well then for Winnie. They're good stuff indeed. Then Vintage has been passed by Slayer. Then has he? Yes, he has. Slayer up into P15 into the points paying positions now for the Racing Bull driver, and looking good indeed then to get himself some points then as it stands. Then Winnie out to the pits onto the medium compound tyres. Glorian Pilot is back past Rosa Sky. No, he isn't. Rosa Sky's fighting through then into turn 3. They're side by side heading into turn 4 now, and this is going to get close indeed then. Oh dear, I think that McLaren is just ahead then. Oh dear, Rosa Sky's gone up flying off the other way then, and not sure what happened there then, but Glorian Pilot then had the position then, and Rosa Sky has gone for a spin then. Rosa Sky has lost the car then, unfortunately. Then he's gone for a big spin there as well then, and that is going to be down the order. Then Winnie then is going to be behind him still, but unfortunately the only driver behind as well. Then Rosa Sky then has lost traction, then lost the wing as well then, trying to put the power down a bit too early as well. Then Haku has been passed by Vintage. Oh my God then, and the Vintage, oh my days. Wow. Well, that is a big smash then for Vintage. It's a safety car, or yes, it is a safety car. It's another safety car here. That'll bring Vintage, Rosa Sky and Winnie back into play here. But my goodness me, then I think Rosa Sky's had another issue then as well then, because he was ghosted briefly there as well. My goodness me. Oh, wow. We're not halfway through yet, lads. But there we go then. Flippy said £1 for another safety car after the restart. Well, that quid's gone already. Reflection has to serve that 10 in the pits. It's Mr. Elite who's got the penalty there as well, but he will have to serve that in the pit lane then. GTA 6 before Codemasters add something. Add the option to not serve the pen in the pits. Yes. Marsky's carried on. So Marsky's decided to soldier on in this race then on his hard compound side. Reflections in the pit lane. Mr. Elite's also in the pit lane. Then we want to see is Serious Mushroom in the pits. Yes, he is. Unfortunately, he's going to be held massively there by his teammate because Mushroom then is pitting and Mr. Elite is serving that 10-second penalty as well. Then and there we go then. So Mushroom's going to be Mushroom's cost himself there as well. Unfortunately, pitting then behind his teammate there, but this penalty has been served now. So long as there's no safety car, then in the next, I think it's the next 5 laps or so, then if there's no safety car before the end of the Grand Prix, I should say, then the penalty can be removed from Mr. Elite as well. Then Winnie then is going to be getting himself up into P14 and ahead then of Mushroom, just about then into turn 2. And Rosa Sky then has got that car serviced. Oh, has he? Has he? Oh, it's taken a while then. He's got the new front wing going on there. and he is back out of the pit lane and back underway then for the Keychains then. So 18 runners still going in this race. We've had 2 safety cars. Unfortunately, Firebirds is the only retirement so far, but I've probably jinxed that now, and we'll have about 20 drivers retire. We've only got 18 running still, but there we go. That's just the way it's going to be. Maybe I'll retire as well, and Burnt Minelands will retire too. But there we go then. So Marsky and Groove Ninja and Dark Shadow have also stayed out then. So there's going to be a few drivers then. Rocket Lee's also on 6-lap-old hard compound tyres. Of course, he did pit in the previous safety car, I believe. Something like that, potentially. And Mushroom was given. Goodness me. Well, Mushroom's still in the points-paying positions at the moment, and so it's not all done and dusted just yet. Then, of course, it is Baku as well, so we're probably going to see plenty more action, as we haven't even got to the halfway point just yet then, but there we go. Marsky then is leading the Grand Prix then. Of course, he's yet to pit in this Grand Prix. Groove Ninja as well in P2 yet to pit, then Dark Shadow yet to pit in P4. We might see a few more drivers then pitting as well then. Medium compound tyres for quite a bit of a bunch then as well then, as we go through then. Pits gave me the old mediums, not the new ones, says today as well then, and have a spare new meds to use. So potentially we might see Slayer in the pits as well then in the next couple of laps as well then. Rosa lost force feedback, says Ginger Rage. And Dark Shadow is in the pit lane to call it a day on his hard compound tyres then. So he will be dropping down the order as well then. Of course, the pack is pretty much bunched up, so he's going to be dropping down right to the back of the field, unfortunately. And looking for a wing change as well. He might drop behind Rosa Sky here as well as we head down the main straight then for the Keychains driver. I don't even know what it feels like to lose force feedback, because I've either not had it at all then in this season, or I've just yeah, I've never had it, but I'm pretty sure I've either just been driving with no force feedback or something else, but there we go then. So who's in a good spot here then? We've got Hungry Stars on hard compound tyres, and he can probably go to the end of the Grand Prix. Chlorine Pilot as well then. We've got Vintage also on the hard compound tyres, only just put him on as well then. Rosa Sky's also not in a bad spot as well, to be fair. So those are the drivers I think who probably can go to the end of the Grand Prix. Will anybody else try and eke their tyres out? Of course, we've got both the top 2 then, and of course, who else was it? No, it's not the top 2, because of course Dark Shadow has pit then, so both the top 2 have yet to pit at all in this Grand Prix, and they're probably hoping for a safety car then in the next few laps or so then to try and promote them up into those, into keeping hold of those places, I should say, then when there is another pit stop phase potentially. We'll wait and see. In it, been a problem for at least 4 years. Says there we go then. W Game, $1 billion company. Then, to be fair, I heard that EA are going to be bought out by some investment group or something. So I hope the investment group, like gaming, well, I'm guessing they're investing in it because they do have some sort of interest in it. But there we go. Nonetheless, we'll have to go into that. Right then, safety car is back in at the end of this lap. Then Marsky this time will lead us away for the restart. And we've got, well, we're going to be at about halfway point then as we get ourselves onto lap 13 of 26 then in just a jiffy. And Real Ashton is having an issue then. He's off the circuit there, and he's lost out then to both Hassers and Rosa Sky, I think then. Not sure what happened there to Real Ashton, but he's back underway. So hopefully he's all right. Good stuff. Right, the safety car is back in the pit lane. Marsky is about to start us underway then for the restart of this Grand Prix then. We'll have a look and see on board what's going on then. And I think he's gone. And he's gone a bit earlier this time then as well. Then Mr. Elite has, what's happened? Mr. Elite has 10-second penalty for Rosa Sky. My God then, what is going on there then? And there's, oh my days, what is happening here for this restart then? And Mr. Elite, I think, has caused a bit of that then as well. As we go through, there's a clout at the wall then for the Williams of Dynamo Dan. He's got a 10-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flag. And wow, and how is he then? He's trying to sneak his nose in there. I think there's a contact then. There's Jake the Slayer. Is he round? Then he's back underway quickly enough though. But unfortunately, he's lost out then to both the Hasses and Rosa Sky. And, well, let's just say, a chaotic restart to say the least then. 10 seconds for Mr. Elite then, and for Dynamo Dan then. I'm not sure what happened there then. Vintage has lost out to Rosa Sky. There's, I think he's had an issue into turn 3 then, has it? Yes, because Jake the Slayer's gone through as well then. Smithy Almighty and Groove Ninja are having a bit of a fight as well then. Here comes Smithy on his medium compound tyres. Then he's got the move done into P3 there for the Ferrari driver. Goodness me, I can't keep up with it all. Watch out, guys, as we go through here as well. Then there's a ghosted McLaren again. And, wow, we've got Winnie and Chlorine. What's going on here? and they're inside of each other here as well. Then Winnie, I think, has got the traction out the corner, so we'll hold on to that P9 position. Groove Ninja has been passed by Reflection here, and here comes Styles as well. Then what's happening here? Then Dynamo Dan, and wow, there's an Alpine flying through there as well. Groove Ninja's got a 3-second penalty then, which I didn't see going off the track there at all, to be honest. So we'll have to look at that as well then. But my goodness me, it's well, it's started this restart. We've said safety cars, and yes, it looks like it might do as we fly through then to end off lap 13. And there we go then. So yes, penalties galore out there as well then for that restart. Dynamo Dan and Mr. Elite are going to be, I think, looking at the stewards room to try and see what's going on there. Into the pits comes Groove Ninja. He is going to serve that, he's not going to serve that penalty because he hasn't got one. Rocket Lee and Smithy then have had a bit of a ding-dong battle as well. Then Reflection up into P3 here then, so Rocket Lee P4 for now. Of course, I think he's on slightly older tyres than compared to Reflection and Smithy Almighty. Then yellow flags. What's happened then? Is it Mushroom? Mushroom's had an issue then at turn 2, I think that is. Yes, he's gone off then as well. Then he hasn't got any damage though, so he's back underway. Then Real Ashton is relinquished the spot as well. Then he's down to P17. Vintage and Slayer into turn 3. Oh my god, then, and Slayer's gone for a move then, and unfortunately he's gone for a spin as well. And he's lost out then to Vintage, and he's lost out to a couple of the competitors as well. Then heading into turn 3, then I think he's back underway then without any damage then as well. Wow. Groove Ninja is onto the medium compound tyres. Then can he get those tyres to the end of the Grand Prix? All he needs now is a nice calm race. But I can guarantee that's probably not what's going to happen then. And I don't know if he's got end plate damage that they haven't fixed there as well. Then that right end plate is missing then as well for Groove Ninja. Goodness me. Smithy Almighty now all over the back of Marvsky for the race lead. Then Reflection coming with him. Of course, they're on fresh medium compound tyres. Marvsky's on old hard compound tyres. And of course has yet to pit in this Grand Prix. Groove Ninja was the other driver. Then he has now pitted for the medium compounds as well then for the Williams driver there. Goodness me. But so far so good then. Heading through then on to lap 15 then momentarily. Then we've got the DRS straight. Then we've got a McLaren then and Dynamo Dan getting in the midst as well then in the background. Then let's have a look and see what's going on at the Grand Prix. Then as here comes Smithy, here comes Reflection. Then they've got DRS now and they're heading through then down towards turn 1. They're going to go side by side. They've got Marsky to try and pass as well. There's all sorts of chaos going on in the background there as well. Then Dynamo Dan has got himself past Rocket Lee. Then Styles then trying to go around the outside of Rocket Lee as well. Then into turn 1 has made the move, I think. Or has he? No, not quite then. As we go through into turn 2, Rocket Lee holds on then as we head into the braking zone then, and that's going to be tight indeed. And I think Styles then has got himself through then just about. Then Rocket Lee's tyres, I think, are starting to get a bit worse for wear. Then Winnie's sneaking through on the medium compound, and now there's Mr. Elite going through from the inside of turn 3 as well. And they've all made it through. Fantastic. Goodness me. Wow. And wow, and Rocket it's Chlorine Pilot then who's had an issue. Then Housy's gone through, and I don't know if Chlorine Pilot then just locked up there, or did he have some other issue then? And we've got yellow flags in the background. Then that is for somebody. I'm not sure. Groove Ninja then is catching up then. If he's not got he has got the damage there as well on that end plate, but he seems to be just motoring along without any issues there as well. Then Reflection's Reflection's got the lead. Sorry, I missed it completely. I'm very sorry. I missed the most important part. There we go. Then Smithy has got himself past Marvsky as well here then into P2 then, and now trying to chase down Reflection then is his next target. Dynamo Dan, of course, looking to get himself back in the top 3 of the championship order then, is looking to get himself on the podium places here as well, but has got that 10-second penalty to be served as well then. Of course, if there's no late safety cars, then it will be able to be removed. Then I'm not sure if there was any shenanigans that went on there, or if it was just misjudgment. Then, of course, if it's driver misjudgment, unfortunately, there's not much we can do about the penalty situation there. But nonetheless, we'll crack on. Smithy Almighty not within that DRS window then of the Aston Martin ahead of him. That's Reflection then starting off lap 26. Sorry, no, lap 16. Sorry, we're not on lap 26 just yet. Marvsky is back in contention as well with the DRS then, and Dynamo Dan's been brought with him as well. And same for Styles, same for Willie, same for Mr. Elite then. Rocket Lee is under pressure from Housey then into turn 1 as we go through then. And it's Chlorine Pilot then. He's trying to get himself, Rosa Sky trying to get himself past Chlorine Pilot. He's got the inside of turn 2. And he's got the move done. The Groove Ninja sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Then all he needs to do is hold on to that and hold on to his position in this race then to make sure he gets that point then for his name at the end of the race as well. Then here comes Housie on the outside of Rocket Lee. Then he's got the move, or has he? I think that's a pretty good move indeed. Then has he got the move done though is the question then. And now the inside for turn 4 then, and I think he has got the move done then. And Rosa Sky then is looking to get his nose in the mix as well here then. And now into sector 2. And there's contact between the two of them there as well then, and now going through into this part of the circuit then. Rosa Sky's going to try and stick his nose in there, not quite, and that's very wise indeed as well then, as Housie's going to go diving down the inside here as well then. And now who's going to be on the track? Who's going to be better on the traction? Rocket Lee's got the inside into the castle section. This is going to get chaotic then. No, they've all sorted themselves out. Oh my god. No, Rocket Lee's got it. How did he get that? He was, I'm not sure, maybe going a bit wide there, but I'm sure that can be looked at as well then. Heading through, and what is that then? That's a McLaren, that's Chlorine Pilot then, who's gone smashing into the wall then, and I'm sure that's going to be some sort of damage then to the McLaren. Then it is end plate damage there for Chlorine Pilot as well then, my goodness me. And unfortunately, I'm not sure if he just lost control then with some dirty air then, or if they just went out of the window then as well then. But he has lost out then to the battling pack then. Rosa Sky then has lost out to the DRS then as well of Housie and Rocket Lee. And we head on to the main straight to end off lap 16 then. In front then Marsky's being Marsky's in the pit lane, so Marsky is calling it a day on his hard compound tyres, and finally coming into the pit lane as well then. Wow, I'm getting very scared on this one. Top as in height, yes. That man is a top baller then. As Ginger Rage then, my goodness me. Chlorine Pilot is out of the Grand Prix. He is retired in the pit lane, unfortunately. That is a pit and quit then for Chlorine Pilot then. So Marsky coming out of the pit lane now on fresh medium compound tyres is going to be close with Real Ashton there. But he stays behind for now. But of course he will have the DRS then to get himself back past the Red Bull then down towards turn 3. Now having a P15 into the points paying positions then. Can he catch up then on his fresh medium compound tyres going to the end of the Grand Prix? More yellow flags as Groove Ninja's had a crash. And is that another safety car? No. It's a VSC this time, I believe. But it's a VSC. So Groove Ninja is out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately. A big crash then at turn 3. I'm not sure. I think that might have been aided by the wing damage there as well then that he picked up on the earlier laps as well then. So a big shame in Groove Ninja out of the Grand Prix as well. So, well, to be fair, Baku is like this one, isn't it? So, thankfully, next week we're off into Texas. So there's plenty of runoff. There's no room. There's no issues. Then there's no safety cars inside, because if you go off the track, then you've got about 5 yards. Sorry, you've got about 50 yards at least. Then before you even see the sight of another barrier, so you can easily get yourself back on the track then before any issues. Then will we see some pit stops now? Here is the question. And Mr. Elite's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. Oh, my goodness me, then. And it's gone away as well, then, just at the end of that as well. Then Rosa Sky has been passed by Mushroom. Rosa Sky's off the circuit there. What is going on then for Rosa Sky as well, then? So, Rosa Sky, then, I think maybe just put the power down a bit too early there as well, then. And that has cost him dearly as well then. Unfortunately, Rosa Sky then has got no front wing at all then for the Kick Sauber driver, and will have to get himself back into the box then to sort that out as well then. So yeah, we'll get that car slowed down and into the pit lane, and hopefully he can get himself onto a new set of boots then as well then as we go through. Then Marsky then up into P13, then Rosa Sky then is into the box now as well. Then Jake the Slayer's also into the pits as well then. I think he's going to try and do the same thing as Rosa Sky and serve that, not serve the penalty, sorry, just get himself onto a new front wing and a new set of boots as well then. Of course, he's done 11 laps on those medium compound tyres, so they're probably not going to be at their best peak then. Now a new set of medium compound tyres should get to the end of the Grand Prix. A-OK then for the... for the Racing Bull driver then. My goodness me, it's been 18 laps of action as we see here then, but my God. Will we see the medium runners have to pit again then? That is the question. We might see Style start to sneak up as Marvsky's got himself past Dark Shadow, or has he? And Marvsky then on the exit then has got the traction. Or no he's not then, as Dark Shadow is going to try and fight back here into the next turn then, and wow, that's close indeed. Marvsky does get the traction and gets himself up into P12 on his fresh medium compound tyres. But wow. Right then. Oh, yeah, like I said, going back to what I was trying to talk about, are we going to see the medium tyres hold on to the end of the Grand Prix here, or will we have to see some more pit stops then for those who have started not started, they were halfway through their stint probably now? Will they get to the end of the Grand Prix? Of course, it's a long lap. There's not many laps to go then, but it is a long lap then. Dynamo Dan is looking to shape a move then for P2, and he has got the move done for P2. Neds have to pit then, says Kamara Racer then. So Kamara Racer reckons that everybody on the medium compound tyres, Mr. Elite is into the pits as well. He's having to serve that drive-through penalty, of course, then that's going to be a big problem indeed. Then Haku then up into P8, then Vintage P9, then Serious Mushroom is also in the pit lane. And well, his teammate this time is not stopping then, so that's going to be good news indeed. So Mushroom then, I think, is maybe trying to get ahead then, get an undercut then on those who are sticking it out and trying to get, he's on soft compound tyres. He's going to be rapid then to the end of this Grand Prix. Will he be out ahead of Slayer then? Yes, he will. So that's going to be P14 then for Mushroom as well then. So that's not going to be too shabby indeed as well, especially if those ahead of him start to have to make late pit stops. Then he'll be gaining in the offset then as well. Then of course, if they try and struggle on then to at least to keep himself going in this stint, then of course they'll just be losing more and more time to Mushroom on his fresh tyres as well. Then the same for Slayer as well then on those medium compound tyres. The same for Marsky then, who's on 2-lap old medium compound tyres as well. Then so maybe Kamara Racer then has called it right there as well. Then Vessia Styles will win. Styles will has this win in the bag unless there is a safety car. There we go then. Right, we'll crack on. We've got 7 laps to go then. I'm pretty sure Kamara Racer was right then, because those medium compound tyres, trying to get 14, 15 laps out of those medium compound tyres is going to be quite a feat indeed. But we've seen it happen before. Not necessarily in Azerbaijan, but we've seen it happen before then in previous races as well then, so we'll wait and see. Smithy Almighty then is holding on then to the DRS then of Dynamo Dan, then Hungry Styles as well then on his hard compound tyres then is probably in the best spot as well here then. Maybe same for Rocket League then, and for Vintage. Vintage could be on for a cracking result here as well then. We'll wait and see. I don't want to commentate a curse him because I like him, so we won't say any more on that situation then, as Haku is into the pits then. So Haku as well then calling it a day on his medium compound tyres. He's done 9 laps now. Marsky sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He's up into P9. He's past Mr. Elite here, and now looking to charge on and try and attack Vintage as his next target as well. Then 4 seconds up the road. Then soft compound tyres for Haku. Real Ashton in the pits as well then for the Red Bull team then. So soft compound tyres going on a few drivers then. Haku then has not changed the wing again then, and he's gone wide on the pit exit there as well then. He's not changed that front end plate there as well then, so he's going to have damage then for the final stint of this Grand Prix. 6 laps to go. There's clouded all again then. Oh my. Jake the Slayer and Real Ashton are going to be quite close on the pit exit here, and Jake the Slayer has got the move done. Real Ashton out on medium compound tyres, then again he'll be very quick as well to the end of the Grand Prix from this point onwards, I should say. Then Rosa Sky then struggling on then. Fair play indeed for carrying on in this race, as Dark Shadow has been passed by Mushroom. Well, has he? Yes, he has, and Dark Shadow sticking his nose in there where it didn't need to be, unfortunately then, for Dark Shadow, that is. And he's going to try and get the car. Where is he going? No, wrong way. Oh dear. Oh god, no, I think, yeah, okay. Unfortunately, with Dark Shadow, then that's, oh dear, what's happened? What's happened? Oh dear, what's happened? I'm not sure what's happened there, to be fair. There was some sort of teleporting going on, I think, then, but, okay, we'll crack on. Right then, 21 of 26 then underway. We've got 6 laps to go then, including this one as well here. Into the pits comes Winnie then. So Winnie is calling it a day on his medium compound tyres as well. Then Howsey under pressure from Rocket Lee. Rocket Lee inherits that P6 position. It's going to be P5 now, of course, with Winnie in the pit lane. And up into P5 for the McLaren then. Winnie then soft compound tyres going on. He's going to lose a few spots, a few places then in this pit stop. But of course he will be back out then and challenging on his soft compound tyres very quickly indeed. Then Mr. Elite has gone through, or has he? Yes, he has. And into turn 2 then Winnie slots in behind. And, oh, there's a bit of debris there, but Winnie now with some DRS then, of course, is going to go straight back past the Alpine, I would imagine, on his soft compound tyres. Yes, he is then, and up into P9 then for Winnie then. Can he chase down the time lost in the pit lane in the next 5.5 laps or so? Then we'll wait and see. We might see some more pit stoppers then. The top 3 are on the old medium compound tyres. Smithy's back end stepping out there indeed. and Hungry Styles is now putting the pressure on as we go through into Sector 2 as well. Then Styles needs to make hay now with those hard compound tyres because he needs to get himself past and into the challenging spots then for the race lead. Of course, if Reflection and Dynamo Dan and Smithy want to try and soldier on then on these medium compound tyres, that is going to be a mean feat indeed. And I'm not talking about Ginger Ranger's mean feat as well. But Smithy, yeah, you can see that the car is just not under control then on these old medium compound tyres. It's sliding out of the corners there, and he's going to be under big pressure then from Styles, then heading through into lap 22. Then I think Styles might try to make the move then before the beginning of lap 22. Then he is passed as well. Then unfortunately, I think that's given Smithy the DRS. So maybe Smithy playing a bit of games there to try and get himself back through then, but he's not close enough then. Styles then with the grip then on the hard compound tyres is up into P3 now, and is now going to try and chase down Dynamo Dan and Reflection. Then Dynamo Dan's got a bit of speed then because he's got himself back up into the DRS then of Reflection. Vintage has been passed by Marvsky then for P7. Then Marvsky on his medium compound tyres is going to be looking in a good spot here if it all stays status quo then into the end of the Grand Prix, because he's going to be gaining quite a lot of time then on those ahead of him on their older tyres as well. Then Winnie then trying to get himself down the inside into turn 2 and passing Vintage for P8. Then Winnie on the soft compound tyres, of course. It's my athlete's foot, says Ginger Rage. Agreed. Right then, I haven't seen your feet so much, but yeah, I'd love to see them. Send me a pic. I want feet pics. There we go. Right, lap 22 of 26 here, and we're going through then into the castle section once again for the race leaders, and the top 4 are all lying astern almost there as well. Then 10 seconds back is Rocket Lee, but he's got pressure from Housie then as well, and Marvsky is 4 seconds behind, with Winnie also on the soft compound tyres catching up as well here. So he might have a bit more pressure then, and Winnie, oh god, I thought Winnie was going to try and stick a nose in then at the castle section. That is not a wise place to stick your nose. And he's still, oh my god, he's all over the place there as well. Well, he's not all over the place then, to be fair. He's very calculated indeed then. He's got himself past, and Haku's got a 3-second penalty there. Winnie up into P7 then. He's going to be relinquishing that DRS though down the main straight to Marvsky. Yellow flags. It's Housie. Then Housie's had an issue then. It's, where is that then? Into turn, where is that? It's turn 15, the dreaded turn 15. He's lost a place to Vintage, I believe, but he's still powering on. Then he's lost an end plate as well then, has Housie. Can he get himself to the end of the Grand Prix on that on those tyres there and on that damage as well? Then we'll wait and see, but Housie then hopefully is a-okay to crack on then as well. Winnie's got himself past Rocket Lee, or has he? Who's got the DRS here then? Nobody. I think Marvsky's got the DRS there as well then as we go through, and he's up into P5 again then into turn 1, and we're on the brakes then as well. Rocket Lee almost getting a snap then, but he's got himself under control, and good car control indeed actually, to be fair, to avoid any issues there as well. Then into turn 2, and Winnie's pushing Marvsky through the corner. And we've got a yellow flag. It's a problem then. Is it Rocket Lee? Rocket Lee's had an issue then. I think he's got puncture potentially there for Rocket Lee. Is it? I'm not sure. He's back underway. Hopefully he's back underway. Winnie has got himself past Marvsky then on the soft compound tyres, I think there. Yes, he has, up into P5. He's got a 13-second gap though to the top 3. They're going to have to get some punctures then for Winnie to catch up. They've got yellow flags all over the place then. It's Rocket Lee who's had really having some sort of issue out there then. I'm not quite sure what is going on then for Rocket Lee, but he's maybe he has got a puncture there as well then. And he's now, oh dear, that's Haku then trying to get himself past the McLaren as well then as we go through then into sector 2, and Haku are on the soft compound tyres now, and has got himself past then up into P11 for the time being as we head into the car sale section. Jake the Slayer then in P13 is going to get himself a handful of points here as well. Then we might see some more points paying positions unfold then as well, then if we're going to have some tyre issues later on in this Grand Prix. But Haku then up into P11, then Rocket Lee then in P12. Where is he? There he is. I think going to have to come back to the pits to sort that front wing out then, but we might be able to see Rocket Lee still get some points in this race then if he can get himself back to the pits and sort that front wing out as well then. So there we go. Jake the Slayer then is gaining as well. Then Jake the Slayer is going to gain a few spots, like I said, then towards the end of this Grand Prix. Out in the front, Dynamo Dan holds on to the lead on lap 24 then of 26, and we've got Styles then as well right on the back of these three now. Styles needs to make moves now quickly because he's got the fresher, or the better tyres I should say, at this point of the Grand Prix, and heading through then Heading through then into lap 24, then only 2 laps to go then after this one. And so far, so good then as we go on to lap 24. And then no more safety cars as well in this Grand Prix. So that is going to be it then for the safety cars and VSCs. And there on the exit then Reflection is struggling, and Hungry Styles then going to stick his nose in. Then Styles needs to be more aggressive then to get himself past Reflection then, because he's going to have to try and get himself past and then past Dynamo Dan as well. Then he's going to have quite a sizable advantage. Then Rocket Lee is into the pits for the soft compound tyres. Then he can go for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix here as well, and potentially get an extra point then for himself and the team. But there we go, then into the castle section we go, and Reflection's really struggling here, and now Styles needs to get his foot down then because he's lost DRS. Smithy Almighty picks up a 3-second penalty as well. My goodness me, then that's going to be costly then for Smithy Almighty. Then that's going to demote him off the podium places. I think, of course, Dynamo Dan has that penalty then, but it might be reviewed after the race then for that safety car infringement. Then Hungry Styles then, again, I think, unfortunately, it's costing him here to stuck behind Reflection. There's nothing you can do in Sector 2, really, is there? But now onto the main straight, then, to start off lap 25. Then he needs to power through with the aid of some DRS here. Then let's see what Styles has got in his locker now with the aid of some battery and some DRS. Then he's only 3/10 away, then, heading onto the main straight. And DRS now available for Styles. Here he comes, then, onto the main straight we go. Then lap 25 has commenced, then. And Styles now within touching distance of potentially a race win. Then he's got to get himself in the DRS then of Dynamo Dan is his next target as well here. But my goodness me, those hard compound tyres are going to be good then. High Ginger Age then says Beast then as well. Reflection and Styles then. We've got Styles then up into P2 then. He's going to have to try and get past Dynamo Dan, because that penalty, I think, we'll have a look at the penalty situation then, but that penalty I think will be reviewed after the Grand Prix then for Dynamo Dan. And of course it would demote him down to P4, potentially even P5 as it stands, with Winnie catching up on the soft compound tyres then. So Hungry Styles will need to get himself past then on the circuit then to make sure he can get this win then in the books. Then of course he'll win it on the merit then in this Grand Prix then. But of course in the steward's room he needs to make sure he got that he gets that move done to tidy it all up then as well. But here we go. Medium compound tyres are really struggling now. Then there is Dynamo Dan. He's being pushed by Styles through the corners here then as we go through then into Sector 2 for the penultimate time. And heading through then around this part of the circuit, then Dynamo Dan is just trying to make sure those tyres don't pop then at this point of the Grand Prix. Heading through down the hill then at turn 15. And Styles then is going to have another go then into the main straight then to start off the final lap of the Grand Prix. Then into lap 26 then he's going to push Dynamo Dan through the corners here. And we'll be looking to line up a move then, I think, with the aid of some DRS then into turn 1 then. And here we go then to start off the final lap of the Grand Prix. Then DRS is available for Styles then as we go through towards turn 1. There it is. Then he takes the lead on the final lap, or onto the final lap I should say. And away he goes then. Let's see how far he can go as well is the question, because Styles then is going to be under a bit of I've just remembered as well then there was a bit of a issue in qualifying with Styles, wasn't there? So maybe he wants to make that gap quickly. And we're going to have to wait and see then what the situation is for the drivers out there with with tyre issues, because can they make those tyres last 16 laps around Baku? Then medium compound tyres are going to be starting to scream, and Smithy Almighty I think is going to be under pressure from his teammate soon as well. Then Mask is going to be coming up to the order as well potentially. Hungry Styles then has got himself a 1 second gap already then to Dynamo Dan. Then Dynamo Dan is just trying to make sure those tyres get to the end of the Grand Prix here. Then same for Reflection, same for Smithy. They are crying out to stop this race then, those medium compound tyres, but they can't until the end of this lap then at least. And of course they got a cool down lap as well, but I'm sure they're not too worried about that. So Styles then 2 seconds already then in this lap as well. Then Styles is storming off then on these hard compound tyres. Then of course they've done 15 16 laps almost as well. Then Rocket Lee sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. But Styles then has got a formidable pace then, of course, now on his hard compound tyres. And we said this as well, the same for Vintage then in this Grand Prix, that those on the hard compound tyres after that second safety car, there wasn't any more safety cars. We're in a fantastic spot, and Rocket Lee has crashed then at turn 2. Unfortunately, to hold on to that fastest lap, he needs to make sure he finishes the Grand Prix as well. Then here comes Styles rounding the final couple of corners, then heading into the main straight for the final time. And Styles then has got himself into the race lead. He's got a 3 second gap then in 1 lap lap then on this final appearance as well then. As we head on to the main straight for Styles then, he is going to cross the line. He is going to claim victory then in Baku as well then. Styles wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix then for Bronze Season 10. What a race win indeed then, and unfortunately he might be in a bit of a spot of bother then with that weaving as well. That lost him a lot of time. But Styles is the race victor here in Baku. What a result then for the Racing Bull driver as well then. Reflection then claims P2. Smithy Almighty holds on to P3 in the end. Then Willie P4 by 0.4 of a second. Marsky in P5. Then Dynamo down with that penalty. Then P6. But of course we might be reviewing that after the race as well then. Vintage in P7. A brilliant result then. Mr. Elite's got a 10-second bump as well then. So that might also be looked at in the end. Then Housey P8. Mushroom in P9. Then not so bad after he already gave up in this race. Then he's done a good job in that race as well in the end. Mr. Elite P10. Then Haku then in P11. Jake the Slayer then with a great result then will come home in P12 as well then. Good stuff indeed. Then Real Ashton in P13. Wow, brilliant stuff indeed then. Rocket Lee and Dark Shadow as well then will round off the points paying positions I think then, unless Rosa Sky can get himself within the contention as well then of the Haas drivers penalties that is. We'll wait and see though, but fair play indeed then as we go through in this race then. GG's to my teammate, what a win then, says Jake the Slayer as well then. And Kamara Racer did call it, I think. He said Styles for a podium. And Hungry Styles is currently on the top step of the podium as well then with that fantastic race win indeed. Yeah, good stuff. Well then, there we go. Mr. Elite has left the session already, so that's him out of the Grand Prix as well. But I think he finished P10, something like that anyway. But we're waiting for Rosa Sky to get himself to the line then to finish off this race as well then. But there it is then, Hungry Styles then on the top step of the podium there for the Racing Bull team then. What a race win then for Hungry Styles then. And wow, it was just a question of getting the strategy right there as well then. My goodness me, but it was difficult to predict indeed as well, especially in that first half of the race. And after the second safety car, to be fair, it did calm down quite a bit, to be fair as well. So there we are then on the podium places there. There is Styles on the top step of the podium celebrating his fantastic race win then. Reflection in the Aston Martin P2 and Smithy Almighty in P3 in the end here as well. Ugh. Well, goodness me. We'll run through the classification in just a jiffy then, once everyone's muted their mics. And we can have a quick interview as well then afterwards with the top three drivers here in Baku then. And well, the celebration is going on for a long time then, so I can't even see the classification then. Thank you. Whoever that was. Right there, so Styles wins the Grand Prix. Reflection P2. Smithy Almighty rounds off the podium there. Winnie then up into P4 in the end. Then Marsky P5. Dynamo Dan P6. Vintage P7. Housing P8. Then Mushroom in P9. Haku then rounds off the top 10. Although I think actually Mr. Elite was top 10. And then Haku P11. Then Jake the Slayer P12. Real Ashton P13. Dark Shadow P14. Rocket Lee P15. Rosa Sky P16. Then unfortunately Groove Ninja retired in this Grand Prix with a big crash. Then Chlorine Pilot then quit in the pit lane, and Firebird was out of the Grand Prix very early on as well on his ALR debut. We'll start off then with Hungry Styles then. Hungry Styles, a fantastic race win tonight then. How are you feeling after that one as well then?
It was a hard one because my arms are hurting now, so it was really tough. This track is really exhausting. So but yeah, I know that I had to choose the harder compounds, 2 times hards and 1 mediums, because I know that it's gonna be a safety car. So I pitted for 2 hards, and I know that after the safety car, the last one, I was hoping not another safety car, please, not another one. And yeah, I know I had it till the end with my heart, so it was nice.
And you got yourself a fantastic race win there after battling through then. You were in the battle for quite a long time in that race as well. Then what was your thoughts as you went through that final stint then into on those hard compound tires when you saw everybody else on the medium compound?
Yeah, at the beginning it was hard because everyone was on the mediums, and but no one was getting in a race because they were battling each other. So I was just following. I knew at some points their tires gonna get more struggling, and then it's gonna be my time to fight them and to get them one by one. So I know I just have to wait till lap 22, 23, and the medium tires are dead. So
And well, it's a fantastic result indeed for yourself, then getting yourself back into the mix, then of course for the championship fight as well. Then so well done indeed to Styles. Then P1 tonight. Then Reflection got yourself P2 then in the Aston Martin tonight. Then once again, I think holding on to those medium compound tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. Then were you very worried about a puncture there potentially then, or was there something else going on there?
Yes, I was very worried. Um, I'm not sure if I got P2 because I don't know what Dynamo Dan got that 10-second for. Was it speeding in the pit lane?
I think
Or
there was
could
a
he get it
safety car
removed?
issue. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. So hopefully he can't get that removed. And yes, I'm very happy with P2. Um, when I saw Hungry Styles box for another set of hards, I thought he's aced the strategy, picking the two hards and one medium. I thought that was, I knew he would have it towards the end because them tyres, they were just dead at the end. 3 laps to go. They were just sliding at every corner. So to hold on to P2 and to beat Smithy, which GG to Smithy as well, um, gaining some more ground in the championship. I'm very happy with that.
And it was a fantastic performance as well. And of course, you were battling at the front for the majority of the race, literally from lap one as well. Then after that, I'm already knackered. I'm sure you are as well, to be fair. But what does that do for your championship permutations as well, going into the last 5 races of the season?
I'm just taking one race at a time because I'm actually going to have to miss Brazil because of my way in Turkey, so, which is a bit unfortunate. So hopefully Smithy and Hungry Styles will both retire out of that race. But no, in all fairness, yeah, I am missing that race. So I'm just taking one race at a time, and if I can get another victory or a few more podiums towards the end of the season and see what the points do at the end, I'm happy. It's been a great season for me, my side anyway.
Great stuff indeed, and well done indeed tonight. Then Reflection P2 for Aston Martin as well. Then finally, last but not least, but last on the podium is Smithy Almighty. So Smithy, then similar to Reflection, then you were battling at the top of the field then for the majority of the race as well. Then and that final stint on the mediums, were you in the same position as Reflection? It looked like you were from the stream.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can pretty much mirror exactly everything that Reflection said, with the exception of Heaven Brazil off really. But yeah, everything was pretty hectic this race. I think is the best way to describe it. I couldn't get a grip on the tyre strategy or anything like that. So yeah, to be fair, be up in P3 is quite a surprise. But like Styles said, if Dan gets that penalty removed, then that's my podium spot going. So I think I'm here more to make up the numbers than I am on merit today. To be fair.
Well, you still had a pretty good job then. Did you think, another point as well, did you think Winnie was going to get you at the end there as well? Because he was storming along on soft compound tyres.
Yes, I did. But I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if that was like a goodwill gesture. I don't know if that was a tyres just because that's the thing with this track. You can be driving along absolutely fine 1 minute and the next minute tyres are just gone and then you're sliding out somewhere, which happened to me a couple of times coming out of the castle section, which was why I keyed into, which is why I kept dropping off of people's DRS. So yeah, I don't know what happened, but I'll take that. But yeah, I'm gonna wait and see what the final result is on this one.
Well, cracking stuff indeed, and a great race indeed from all three of you as well. Hopefully, we'll see you back then in next week in the US of A, of course, which will be, like I said in the stream, a lovely place indeed after this one because there's no walls in sight. So everyone, hopefully, will be back next week. But congratulations indeed then to our race winners, our podium drivers as well tonight. Then of course, 100% action is coming up tomorrow then for Mexico. Then so get your tacos and fajitas out and whatever for that one tomorrow night from 7:30 p.m. then, and we'll see you next week for bronze.
GG.